This is not fair on Professor Venkatrao to make me to stand between you and lunch. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks to Vamshikiran, who actually connected me to this place. I was not aware of this consortium. I was not aware of the activity that actually happens among the TPOs in the state. I know that the TPOs are from both Telugu-speaking states, and I'm told that there are people who have come from Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra as well. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. And thanks to Professor Venkatrao Garu to invite me to this thing. My thought process is completely different. I don't know if you are able to read that. My thought process is based on, in fact, I was talking to multiple people, couple of people whom I know in the auditorium. There are people with whom we have already partnered. SRM University, Shastri Garu is here, so we partnered with SRM University. I was asking them one simple question in terms of, what is that I should speak? What is that the messaging that people would want to know? So everyone said, we are all TPOs, and then we only look at the P part of it and conveniently forget the T part of it, and the T part of it is extremely important to the students. Now, I do agree to that statement as well. Let's look at going back a couple of years back. I was trying to see, what is that I need to cover, because I do these sessions almost once in a week in multiple universities, and I do interactive sessions or orientation sessions to students both in the metros and also into tier 2, tier 3 cities across the country. Sometime in 2017, Ernst & Young, EY, has published a report. I'm talking about 2017. They published a report that 1 in 10 workers in IT industry will not do the same job that they are doing today. And I think that's absolutely correct, because 2023, if you look at the job titles that have come in and the job roles that they are doing, is completely different. These jobs were not there in 2017. Today, we have job titles called, at ServiceNow, we have a job title called Citizen Developer. This title wasn't there in 2017. In Accenture is one of the largest partner of ServiceNow, and they have job titles called Workflow Manager, Platform Manager. At ServiceNow, we have something called Incident Manager, Change Executive. These are absolutely new job titles which was not heard of. 2018, you all know about World Economic Forum that happens September, October every year in Davos. They said, by 2022, 75 million jobs would be lost due to digital transformation. But then 133 million jobs would get added. That's absolutely true. This, I'm talking about in 2018. 2019, Ministry of Electronics and IT, they said India would become a $1 trillion digital economy by 2025. Absolutely right. In fact, on the Republic Day, I have posted on my LinkedIn saying that by 2025, India would be the undisputed digital talent nation of the world, because 75% of digital talent is in India. Okay, and India today is absolutely in a safe position. We have close to about 1.2 mobile users. We have close to about 860 million people who use internet bandwidth. We have close to about, the last count was on an average in India, every Indian consumes about 19 to 20 GB of data every month. And this is expected to go up to about 40 to 45 GB in the next 1 year. And by the way, India is the lowest country in terms of the per GB cost. We pay, I think, about 60, 70 cents as compared to $3.50 in the US. And that's primarily because of the volume. We probably are a little next to China, but then 60 cents is peanuts. And then comes Geo, which probably has reduced it much lower. We do about 250 million UPI transactions every day. I don't know how many of people, I try to relate these whole things, and that is what I wanted to share with you people. When Aadhaar card was started in India, it's a big, big revolution. Very few countries would be able to do that kind of a project, and which we did. The whole purpose of Aadhaar card was to make people to get not about digital transformation, not about social security. It was the primary reason was to make people to be part of the digital revolution. I had an opportunity to meet Nandan Nilekani a month back. We did a program with Infosys, and from ServiceNow, we were trying to see, because Infosys would be doing close to about $2 billion of revenue only on ServiceNow, and Infosys has the largest ServiceNow practice in the country today. So he was sharing with me saying, when he started the Aadhaar card process, I believe the whole vision was from Aadhaar card, we bring in Jan Dhan program. Because in Jan Dhan program, about 500 million people, they got their bank accounts. Okay? And then the next process was UPI, Unified Payment Interface. And there's a friend of mine who works in Nestle. He says, what are you guys doing, man, in the tech industry? It is hitting my chocolate business. I said, how? That's primarily because I'm told that Nestle used to get about 25 to 30% of their chocolate business from the petty stores, because when people go and buy something, if it is 1 rupee 50 paise change, chutta nahi hai, and the guy gives you 3 chocolates. Okay, now if it is 7 rupees 77 paise, the guy goes put up on the payment gateway, whether it is Paytm or Google or anything, 7 rupees 77 paise is being paid. So the chocolate business has come down. Okay, so the next revolution to that UPI is open network data on e-commerce. I don't know how many of you have heard about that. That's the next revolution that is expected to happen, which means that on a single app, on the single platform, you will be able to do all the transactions of Amazon or Flipkart, or that's the biggest thing that would happen in India, because all the Kirana stores would be able to start getting onto that app. Okay, now all said and done, 1/3 of global IT workforce is in India. We need to believe that. It is in India. We know that if US IT economy, catches cold, we all sneeze out here because the dependency is on US projects. I'm making it a very clear statement today. Don't get me wrong. I'm requesting the other speakers also do not get me wrong. But my thought process, it's been little more than 3 decades. I've been into the same business. I've not done anything else for my living except for being in IT, Indian training and certification industry. The changes that's going to happen, and I meet a lot of people from Accenture, Capgemini, TCS, Wipro, Deloitte, EY, KPMG, only to discuss about what's the kind of projects that they would be working on. What is the kind of messaging that I should go and talk to the academic colleges? Shastri sir would agree to me that the only mantra to this whole thing is, I'm not too sure if these TPO jobs would exist in the next few years. The reason being the kind of transformation that is happening courtesy COVID. COVID of course has created so much of havoc and devastation for humankind, but what it brought to IT industry is it has created many jobs, and non-IT companies have started investing in IT. I'll give an example. There's a company called Sigma Foods. They manufacture cream biscuits in Bangalore. In my wildest dream, I wouldn't have expected Sigma Foods to become ServiceNow customer. They didn't know, because during the COVID time, inventory was there and they bought our CSM software. The only way that the students should now be able to that is my sincere message to all the TPOs out here, build on their technology skilling. Gone are the days where you will have generic hiring from any of the services organization. Because for them, they are under tremendous pressure of the projects that they are getting. The projects are completely new because it is based on digital transformation. And the skills that are required in the campus, it could be on AI/ML, it could be on robotics process automation, it could be on IoT, it could be on cybersecurity, it could be on e-commerce. It could be on any of these platforms. It could be on cloud computing. It could be on digital workflows. That is the skill that is required. Today, the students do not have to worry, and that's exactly what I tell when I talk to the students, saying that do not expect, since you have joined this college, the expectation of the student is, I've joined this college, it's a bloody hell, the responsibility of the college to get me a job. It doesn't happen that way. It really doesn't happen that way. In today's world, you build up that skill. I'm making the statement, if you are any of the technologies, it could be on IoT, it could be on cloud computing, it could be on big data, it could be on cybersecurity. If you build a domain-specific skill on your resume and put it on your LinkedIn, take my word, you'll get a call. The other things that you get from the hiring organizations also, a day would come when all the services organization, whether it is Wipro, Lamanam sir is here, people are here, I'm making this statement because that is the feedback that I'm getting from the leadership from each of these organizations. When they go to the college, they would ask, hey, how many students in your campus are digitally skilled? That's going to be the next thing that would happen. And you have to say that, okay, I have this many students who are digitally skilled. It could be on any platform, but that is what is the expectation is. Along with that, you need professional skills as well. I mean, we know that we don't speak English at home. We know that English is not our mother tongue. We know that English is not mostly spoken in the campus as well, but then when the guy goes to the interview, that is the only language that is expected to be spoken. So build on those skills. That is definitely that would come up. Avinash probably would kill me if I make this statement saying that he made one line out there saying that coding. Coding is gone. Today we're talking about low code, no code. Service now at our place, today every job has become a tech job. Whether you are a CSE guy or a mechanical guy or a EEE or EC, it really doesn't matter. In fact, I was talking to one of the professors in the car when I was coming from the airport. He says, sir, nobody is asking for a CGPA. People are asking for skill. What skill do you have? That's exactly true, because at service now, we care a damn whether the guy is a topper, whether the guy has a one backlog. Really doesn't matter. All that what matters is, does the guy has that problem solving skills? Is he creative about it? Is he able to solve a problem and build an app kind of a thing? There are close to about 2 million apps on Apple Store. There are close to about 4 million apps on Google Store. Everything that you do is based on an app and based on a particular technology. We compete with Salesforce, but then we know that the kind of economy that we are trying to create. At ServiceNow, we do hire a lot of people. I mean, globally, we are about 22,000 employees. Hyderabad is the second largest development center that we have. We have about 3,500 people working in Hyderabad. We have offices in Bangalore and Mumbai as well. The program that we have recently launched, I don't know how many of you have, just Google and look at Rise Up with ServiceNow. The program that Rise Up with ServiceNow that we started is an initiative globally, and where we are talking about, as a company, we would want to have 1 million people on ServiceNow platform by 2025. Because our customers are growing. When the customers are growing, the job opportunities are growing. When the job opportunities are growing, and there are only two ways that any company would hire. Either it is campus hiring or lateral hiring. If it is lateral hiring, it's the same guy who is moving from organization to organization. Campus hiring, we were not doing anything. And that's the point where we started now the curriculum integration initiative. SRM University is the first university that we signed in India. Thanks to Shastri sir, because he was able to understand. I'm telling you, it is so difficult for me to go and talk to the universities. He was the only person who said, Bhaskar, this is really good. I think we should try to collaborate. Because every time I talk to a university, they'll say, how many placements will you give me? Or will ServiceNow come to my campus to hire? It doesn't come that way. By the way, at ServiceNow, the hiring process is completely automated. You actually have an avatar who comes and interviews you. There is no human being out there. And we do this contest in February and October every year. During the internship, ServiceNow pays pretty well. During the internship, they get about 85,000 rupee. And once the students gets onto a full-time employment, on day one from the campus, the guy gets 34 lakhs. which is good. But then the skill set that is required is completely different. Okay, so my recommendation is please go and talk to the students, invest. One of the person, I think it was Avinash who said, distribute the technology part of it, which is 100% correct, because not everyone would be able to write 10 lines of code. And it is not that everyone should be able to write 10 lines of code. There are a lot of jobs. I mean, there are few people who would want to become a cybersecurity specialist. You don't need 10 lines of code out there. Okay, so I know, I mean, I would take longer time, but I really do not want to, stop between you and your lunch. But the point that I'm trying to make is that invest in technology skilling. That is the only way that you will be able to build the, I always keep saying this, the problem in India is not about unemployment. The problem in India is about employability. If you are able to get those students skilled on these technologies, take my word, they'll be able to get. In my team, so somebody spoke about gig economy. That's absolutely correct. The next talent in the country would come from smaller towns. Gig economy is a big blessing for us. 85% of IT workforce in the US do not go to office, they work from home. Last year, we have had close to about 2.5 lakh people across the country working from home. That would go by 10 times in the next 3 years. I have a team of about 60 people. Only 14 of them work with me in Hyderabad. The rest all are from different towns. From AP, I have 2 people, one from Thuni and another person from Bobili. And they all work from home. They work for ServiceNow. So that's the kind of advantage that we currently have. In fact, there's one person who works on a project for ServiceNow partner who is in Holland, because that girl is certified. And the partner in Holland felt that, okay, she would be able to do my job, and then she can do the, one advantage for that person is that on the time zone difference. Okay, so things would change because the pressure on most of the, at times I keep wondering, what would the campuses would have done if we didn't have TCS, Wipros, Capgeminis and Accentures of the world? Because the mass hiring comes from them. And they are under tremendous pressure because they need to build projects they need to develop solutions on a problem statement which is on digital transformation. Thank you so much. I'll be here for some time. I can meet up with you people. A couple of you are known to me. I could have spent a little more time, but I really do not want to, take longer time and make you people a little more hungry. Thank you so much. And Professor Venkatrao garu, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.